In this video, we're going to discuss and review the San Diego Comic-Con Gremlins 2 Ultimate Greta wedding dress figure from NECA.
We'll begin with a reign of terror. A few murders here and there.
Welcome to the Swearwolves YouTube channel. I'm Brett. If you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking both the subscribe button as well as that notification bell below. We upload videos on a regular basis, podcasts every Monday, as well as the not as consistent review videos in which we cover horror soundtracks, video games, collectibles, you name it. And today we are discussing this Gremlins 2, the new batch, Ultimate Greta wedding dress figure from NECA. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box here. It says Gremlins 2, the new batch, Ultimate Greta wedding dress. And there she is right there on the cover in her wedding dress. Now, her hair looks really dark there, and I just was rewatching the movie, or at least this clip from the movie where she shows up with the wedding dress, and it's at the very end of the movie, I believe. And she has green hair. So keep that in mind. This hair looks really dark because I believe the figure has green hair, which is more accurate to what we see in the movie. I don't know why, but that looks a little darker. You can see green highlights in there, but it looks a little darker than what is actually in the movie. Gremlins 2, this movie is insane. It's insane. This movie goes off the rails from the jump. It's very different than Gremlins 1. And if you've ever seen the Key and Peele skit on Gremlins 2, if you haven't seen it, I recommend watching it. And if you have seen it, I recommend watching it again. On the side, says Gremlins 2, the new batch. On the back, here we go. This time, Billy and everyone's favorite Mogwai, Gizmo, must face off against a new batch of gremlins that definitely think New York is their kind of town. We are proud to present this second action figure of Greta, the female gremlin. Wedding bells are ringing as Greta ensnares her mate for a private nuptial ceremony. Here they grow again. And then we got a couple of shots of the figure right here. Close up, full body shot, and another full body shot in a different pose. And at the bottom, it says it includes synthetic hair, wedding dress and veil, flower bouquet, and interchangeable hands. This side says Gremlins 2. And then, like with all the Ultimate figures, we got a flap that opens up to reveal the figure on the right. And then a nice shot. This is like a, I haven't even opened this yet, so I didn't even see this, but it's like one of those, what were those? I guess it's like almost like a yearbook photo or something, but like a glamour shot where it shows the person and then like a close-up of the person right there. I don't know, that's pretty funny. And on the right here, we have the figure herself. So why don't we go ahead, open up the figure and give it a proper review. All right, I got the figure open. Before we get to the figure itself, let's go ahead and talk about the accessories that we get. Now, we don't get many accessories, but we do get a couple of hands here. And I always love the way that NECA does these hands. There's a lot of good detail on these gremlin hands, especially. You can see kind of the lizard skin, and the paint job is really good. And Greta, of course, has the long painted claws or fingernails, if you will. And then she does have her bouquet of flowers. Just a standard bouquet. It's very heavy rubber, very heavy and hard. There's not a lot of give to this. It's a little bit more soft back here, but still this hard rubber, very solid, and it's got some weight to it. I would say that if she's going to hold these flowers, posing her might prove to be difficult because this might make her a little top heavy. And what I noticed about these gremlins on cue, they're a little top heavy. I did have to put her on this NECA stand here, and I generally don't like these stands, but for the gremlins, I find that these stands work pretty well typically. So that's why I tried to put her on one. Well, let's go ahead and just take her off of there anyway, and we'll figure that out later. We have, before we get into the detail of the figure, let's go ahead and do the articulation. Now, this is your standard gremlin. Got a head that moves side to side. It looks like it moves up and down a little bit, but mostly just side to side. We have these arms that are on a ball joint at the shoulder. They bend at the elbow, and then they have the wrist that also bends and turns. No movement in the waist here, but we do have movement at the hips, and then there is a slight movement in the knees. Her legs are all janky inside here. The ankles move kind of side to side and back and forth on this like little ball, but yes, there is movement at the knees. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the details here. Now, she has this little plastic bit right here that is holding her hair. So let me go ahead and try to take that off. What is going on here? Oh, it's holding on her veil. I see. Okay, so we can have her hair posed how we want it to be posed. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and talk about the detail now. This is Greta the female gremlin, right? She has a very gremlin-esque face, but she's all dolled up with that mole there and the big lips with the lipstick on there. And she has the eye makeup. Her ears do turn. I mean, this is just a gremlin figure, an ultimate gremlin figure, dolled up like Greta. On the back side here, you can see where her dress is hooked in, and I'm not going to unhook it, but it does reveal the back side of her body. Her hands, just like the alternate hands that we had, look really good. These ones are open, where the other ones were more closed. She's got those long fingernails. And of course, this dress from the front side, it's a wedding dress, very classic wedding dress. Poofy shoulders and that lace right there, all the way down to the bottom. And then she's got this train that follows her. Her feet, we did see them a little bit when I was showing the articulation, but just to look at them a little bit more, she's wearing high heels that look really good. It is hard because she's only got that spot right there as a base to balance her, like I said before. So to get her on a stand, will prove quite tricky, but a little bit of finesse and you can get it done. Why don't I go ahead and get her posed, how I'm gonna have her displayed, and we'll be right back with my final thoughts. All right, I got the figure set up how I'm gonna have her displayed, and I really do think she looks great. I did, however, have to change the stand that I used. I tried putting her on this NECA stand, and I gotta tell you, these things, worthless. Don't use them. Highly recommend you do not use those. Those get 0 out of 5 Pamela Voorhees heads. However, I will put a link below to the doll stands that I do use for all of my 7 and 8-inch figures, which this falls into the line of the 7-inch figures for the ultimate figures. And I get those from Amazon. I really do love those. So that link will be provided below. I make no money off of that. Just do it because they're the better stand. I didn't also talk about this veil, and this veil is kind of cool. It's just this big flowy, what is this, tulle, I believe is the material. Veil, and there is a lot of glitter. As a matter of fact, there's glitter all over this table right now. I have to let my wife know so she doesn't think that I went to some kind of strip club or something. But yes, there's glitter everywhere. But I did put the veil back on top of her. I got a couple of wisps of hair coming down. In this movie, Gremlins 2, I guess I didn't realize this when I was a kid, but I was showing this figure to a friend of mine, and he wrote me back and he said, that dude totally fucked that gremlin. And I have to say, like, I agree. At the end of that movie, that dude totally ends up fucking her. I like the figure. I like the way that she looks. She's gonna look really good displayed with the other Gremlins and the other Greta figure, which I haven't reviewed yet, but I do have. I'm gonna give this figure 5 out of 5 Pamela Voorhees heads. If you have any thoughts on this or anything really, please just go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you feel so inclined, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. We are the Swearwolves, and we do a weekly show in which we review horror movies. And you can watch it here on YouTube every Monday, or find it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast by searching for The Swearwolves. Or you can also visit our website at theswearwolves.com. So, for The Swearwolves, I'm Bret.